And it's time to go over yet another episode of Jujutsu Kaisen. But before we begin, please be sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video if you do like the content. This is so I can keep giving you guys more anime content, and we can talk more and more about all the different stories out there. So, since Satoru Gojo has been sealed, our characters are, for the first time ever really, in actual full danger. And that's saying a lot considering that on this show, everybody's been in danger countless times. There have been fatalities before. The show has never gone easy on us before, but I hate to tell you this, it's going to get a lot worse. So, in this episode, we pick up with Mekamaru essentially informing Yuji and Mei about Gojo's sealing, as well as us getting the awesome reveal that Gojo still has at least something to contribute in the form of annoying all of the enemies. He can somehow, it's explained as the prison realm having to adjust to him, cause it to become so heavy it drops into the ground and creates a crater. This basically creates the highlight that it gives everyone the opportunity to try and make it to him while he's sealed in the box. Now, this isn't going to be permanent. It will run out eventually and the box will adjust to him. But until it does, they have the opportunity to go and get him. So with this, we kind of now see, Yuji gets to go off and he meant to only inform Nanami and his team, but he pretty much informed everyone the fact that Gojo has now been sealed. And we saw, technically now, the curse spirits starting to devolve a bit into fighting as well. As now that Gojo is off the field, they're about even with sorcerers, so they don't really feel the need to have to awaken Sukuna, or at least two of them don't. Choso wants to avenge his brothers, and Mahito really just wants to kill Yuji. And I think it's really funny that we don't get an explanation for this now, but it's probably twofold. The fact that Mahito really doesn't like Sukuna because of what he did to him in their last encounter, and Yuji is, in a way, ideologically and physically opposed to Mahito. I mean, he is almost his direct opposite in every way, and that's probably influencing some of Mahito's behavior right now. In regards to who wants to keep him alive, at least, we have Jogo, because Jogo wants to stick to the original plan of unleashing Sukuna on everyone who's in Shibuya. Dagon doesn't talk, so we don't necessarily know which way Dagon's gonna slide on that particular thing. It's kind of funny, not that he can really speak anyway, but doesn't even squeak at it. And then, obviously, Pseudo-Gato now does not actually get to participate, because as he explains it, he has to remain with the prison realm. This kind of really summarizes the episode. We got a few teasers of things that are going to be more important later. Obviously, probably the biggest of which is Ichichi getting wounded. I won't let you know whether he died or not. That does get addressed later, but he's at least heavily wounded in this part. Which was done well. In the manga, it's more of a single strike and it's done. I think they might have telegraphed it a little bit too much because it was supposed to be shocking. But it was still graphic, and I think it got the point across. Because, we like Ichichi. He's a manager, and he's kind of done a lot to help our main characters, despite apparently being a coward. But he has always helped. So stabbing him is going to elicit some anger. On the flip side, we got our first look at Mimiko and Nanako for the first time in the current era. Those are, Gato's essentially adopted daughters. I know they're not technically called his adopted daughters, but they're his adopted daughters. And we find out that they're here, and they were working with this pseudo-Gato on the condition that he would give the original Gato's body back. Problem is they didn't get that as a binding vow. So they kind of get screwed out of the deal, and he tells them to go away or he will kill them. And we get another indication here of just how old the sorcerer might be, because he basically says, "I wonder what regret tastes like." That's not usually something that a lot of modern sorcerers would say, and it's kind of an indication that this, especially this sorcerer, might not be what we think he is. In total, this episode was really well adapted. It set some good things up for next week that we're going to get into. They did well kind of fleshing out some of the scenes. I addressed, Ichichi getting stabbed more, but also, Yuji getting more of a martial arts segment against the transfigured humans. Though I will admit, there was something kind of poetic about the fact that in the manga, when he comes through that barrier and rescues all the humans, he just instantly decapitates all of the creatures trying to kill them and saves all of them. While I appreciate the martial arts looks cooler, I think it may be much like the grasshopper fight, downgrading Yuji's ability a little. He's supposed to be like grade 1 at this point, essentially. And while I think they're doing okay with it, the manga probably did a better variation on just how strong he really is. They might be doing that because of some stuff that happens later, but again, most of the opponents that are left in this place are special grade. You have to keep that in mind with everyone going forward. So in total, I think that this episode was really good, and I'm looking forward to next week's as well. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments below.